Welcome to Seeing Stars with Slammin' Sammy Joe and ALW. Here we are talking about the up and coming indie shows like GCW and Stardom and New Japan. And we are going to be seeing stars tonight, okay? Tonight we're going to cover the best of the Super Juniors, our favorite matches from each day. And then we're also going to do predictions for GCW tonight and tomorrow. So, everybody ready? So, we're going to start with day one. And that match was Hiromu Takahashi versus Mike Bailey. The match lasted for 16 minutes and 40 seconds. And it was at Corrigan Hall. So, anybody want to talk about it? I thought it was a good match. And Mike Bailey won with the Ultimate Weapon. So,
We were muted, ALW.
I'm muted. My bad. I was gonna say, I watched this match. I enjoyed it. Takahashi and Bailey are both really good. They gave him some time for a first round match, which was nice. Um, what more can you really say? If you watch these guys, you know how good they are, and together they seem to have really good chemistry. Um, I enjoyed it a lot. Mike Bailey won, which honestly I was a little surprised. I kind of thought Takahashi would win, but I was happy to see Bailey win. I'm a huge Mike Bailey fan, so anytime he wins, I'm happy. Um, yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed it.
okay. Match number two. On the second night, on the 13th of May, we saw Hiromu Takahashi versus Doki. And that match was good.
Yes, it was really good. Even though it was a little bit less time, they only had like 12 minutes or so. It looked like he said 12 minutes 51 seconds. Doesn't seem like a whole lot of time, but it felt like longer than that, just because it was so good. Yeah, I mean, I like Doki. I like Takahashi again. I mean, there's two guys that can really wrestle, can really go in the ring. I mean, it's hard to go wrong. The thing that I love about New Japan, and I'll say this all the time, is that even when they have their kind of Frankenstein matches at the beginning, their 8-man matches, their 6-man matches at the beginning of shows, especially tournament shows, it's never bad. Even when there isn't a lot of
No,
storyline, even when there isn't a lot of buildup, even when you don't know what guys are wrestling each other, the wrestling is so good all the time that the matches are always solid. I cannot remember the last time I thought to myself, that's just a terrible New Japan match. I just don't ever feel that way. And sometimes I feel that way about Impact, about AEW, about all the time about WWE. But,
all the time.
so again, all these matches that we watch, especially Best of Super Juniors, these are all really solid matches. I mean, it's so hard to pick the best of the best. I mean, there's so many good matches, and this was just another one of them.
And also, I'm a big fan of the 6-man tags, so like,
Yeah,
doesn't bother me at all. I know some
yeah, yeah,
people hate them. I love them.
yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, they have a
I
little bit of
really like
something for everyone. They often do that, which is another thing I like about New Japan.
Yeah, and Harama won with the time bomb, which he seemed to just kept that time bomb kept ticking and ticking and ticking throughout every match. And I could say about New Japan, the best of the Super Juniors were great from beginning to end, but their main events or next to the main events were always just knockout, drag out fights.
Yeah,
So the next day, the third day of the best of Super Junior, we want to highlight Leo Rush versus Hiromu Takahashi. Now that match was great. I actually loved it because it was like fast paced, hard hitting, like they were scrapping for a win. But Leo Rush pulled it out with his final hour.
yeah. I mean, if we were actually giving these a star rating, this would probably be my closest to a 5-star, and it might have been a 5-star match. I mean,
Mm.
I'd have to reevaluate my criteria a little bit because I don't really rate stuff like that. But this was a really solid match. Of the 6 that I watched, I thought this was my favorite. I'm a huge Leo Rush fan. Dude is just amazing. I mean, he's so fluid in the ring. And yet it doesn't look choreographed. Sometimes I love I love Lucha Libre stuff. I'm a huge Vikingo fan. I'm a huge Gringo Loco fan. Bandito, all those guys, Ray Phoenix, Penta. Sometimes, especially when they work together, it can look a little over choreographed. Leo
Mhm.
Rush never has that look to him, even when he's doing stuff that you can clearly tell has been choreographed. It's just different. He's on a different level. I'm I'm very happy for him if he's happy. I'm very disappointed that he doesn't get more TV time in the United States on a main stage. I mean, I just think he's so underrated. I mean, people that watch wrestling know how good he is, but he's so underrated. I mean, and again, another Takahashi match. What more can we say about Takahashi, right? I mean, the first three matches that we're talking about of our favorite 12 of this tournament are Takahashi. So you guys know
Yeah,
how
I think
workhorse.
I
So
think this might be my favorite Leo Rush match, and the one before this was him versus Angel Garza. That was probably my favorite before. This is my favorite now.
yeah. This one, and then the next one we're going to talk about, another Leo Rush match, which we'll get to in just a minute, was almost as good. It wasn't quite as good, but it was right up there. I mean, it's Leo Rush
yeah,
is just amazing.
yeah. So next match, Leo Rush versus Ishimori. This match, like ALW said, was good, but the after part after the match was great. It's like he talked to some kids in the crowd, and he talked about how they reminded him of his kids, and that he left home to kind of pursue this dream. And even in the after presser, he started to cry and said that he was really suicidal on his way to New Japan. And then his family and these fans being behind him is what pushed him. And at the time of this match, he was the current leader. So it's like to see that and to see him get this moment to express himself, that was just phenomenal. And he won again with the final hour.
Yeah, another really solid match. The after stuff was great. I mean, I think you said it all perfect. I don't think there's really much more to say. I mean, I talked about Leo Rush in the last match a lot, so
Yeah. Sam, you got anything?
Uh, no, not for this match.
Okay. Leo, next match is El Desperado versus Yo. Now, this match was real personal because Yo started off the match by throwing his jacket in his face. And then essentially, kind of like at the end, when Yo won with the direct driver and El Desperado was trying to give him respect, was like, you can take your respect and shove it. And that is what I liked about this match is that you have some matches that are very, very, very personal.
Desperado basically ran roughshod through this whole entire event, beating everybody, and this is one of the very few losses he took during this event.
yes. Yeah, no, this was a really good match. I mean, Yo is really good. We know him from when he was with Show and they were a good tag team, several years ago. And then they split up and they both had really good runs. Yo's I think got a little bit better run, although being associated with House of Torture, which has gotten really a bad rap, at least over the last year or so, year and a half, is kind of I don't know. But and I think everybody that I talk to loves Despy, right? El Desperado is a huge fan favorite. Everybody's on the Despy bandwagon. This was a great match. They gave him a lot of time with 20 minutes to really work. They let the match breathe a lot. What more can be said other than it was a phenomenal match? I mean, it's
And I
really good
also
match.
love that it was like Yo has this new like since he's been with Leo Rush, cocky attitude as I think Kevin Kelly called it and I did too. He had his John Cena look on with the denim and the shorts and I was just like, I am really feeling this. He kind of stepped his game up. But the next match we're going to be talking about Master Wato and Robbie Eagles. Most of this match, Robbie attacked Master Wato's leg, and at this moment, I thought Master Wato is about to lose, and he's gonna lose bad. And he got the last burst of energy, and he did a German suplex, which gave him the win. And so he kind of just eked it out barely in the end.
Yeah, Robbie Eagles, I don't know why I continue to be surprised when he has good matches. For some reason in my head, I feel like I'm always going to be, but he always has good matches. I don't know. And so, and Master Wato, for the last couple of years, they've been kind of foul to him. He's had his struggles and whatever, but now with Best of Super Juniors, he's had this real breakout, and now he's going to have the title match. We'll see if they give him two huge wins in a row here. But I think that they kind of see him now. It appears that, one of the futures of this company, right? So, and he's young, and this was another really, really solid match. Um, I like, I'm growing. Master Water was growing on me the more I watch him.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not a huge Robbie Eagles fan, but he has good
Me
matches.
neither.
So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I kind
you know,
of getting into him, I'm into the cocky a-hole characters. And sometimes he can turn it up real good. The like cheesing happy, like, oh, I'm happy to be here. That kind of irks me a little bit. But other than that, he did good overall in the Best of Super Junior. He had good matches.
I I liked him better. I mean, I liked him best when he was in Birds of Prey with Osprey.
Mm-hmm.
mm. Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see a whole lot of that, but
Yeah.
Now, this match here, Akira, like the crowd was behind him and it surprised me. Like this was very intense and like one of the noisiest matches. Like the fans
if
were
I
into it.
if I'm not mistaken, SP3 listed like 7 matches on um, Twitter, and I think he might have given this one 5 stars. I think he gave this one 5 stars. This
Yeah.
I didn't watch this match yet, but I heard that it was an incredible match.
Yeah. Akira, like, he can turn it on and give you, like, his selling is really good. Like, at moments you think, like, he is seriously injured. Like, they need to, like, help this man out. But he really kind of, like, I think he can play to each character. He can be a bad guy. He's a good guy. He looks like a little tweener. And then he can also be like the real high flyer, but he also can mat wrestle. I like his style.
Yeah,
So the next match after that is Mike Bailey versus Ishimori. That match, I swear, every time I saw Mike Bailey wrestle, I think I have three top people. It's either uh, Takahashi, Bailey, and Leo Rush. Every time that matches came on, I knew I was going to get a guaranteed show.
no doubt. Is this the one you watch, Sammy? You watch this one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lots of kicking. Lots of kicking.
yeah. Mike Bailey definitely likes his kicking for sure. That's a
I
staple.
remember there was uh, one spot where he was doing the side to side kicks, and when he went for the high kick, duck, and then just crash land.
Yeah, because that bone lock he did. I was like, man, how do people even get out of that? That seems like it's horrible. But my match that I think is great overall, because there's two other people I say are MVPs. Ooh, Mike Bailey versus Leo Rush. As you see just in the pictures, they tried to kill each
Hmm.
other. And it's like they were fast paced. I like it when, and we'll talk about it in another match, where you can go move for move and you can't quite figure out the next person. And it's like you all are just on the same page, on the same wavelength, and nobody can like outbest each other quite yet.
This is a match that could fit in any promotion on the planet.
Yes. And Mike
Any,
Bailey,
any, like these two could have this match in any promotion and it would fit. You could have this match in AEW. You could have this match in Impact. You could have this match on WWE, and it would work.
I
I
watch
think
this match. This is one I could watch over and over again and over and over. I could watch these two wrestle all day long.
I think Leo Rush should come over for Forbidden Door. He should be one of the people to come over because he has a style and a way. Actually, I would like him and Yo to come over for Forbidden Door as a tag team to wrestle because I know they will give a good show. It's just who would they wrestle I wouldn't say like a FTR, but more like I don't know, House of Black or something. I could see them wrestling and doing that.
Personally, I'd like to see him versus the Best Friends.
Oh, I thought about that. Yes, because that would make a good match. Just don't bring anybody from Evil over here. Just don't do that. Don't do that. The next match is you don't want to click it. Yeah, there we go. It was El Desperado versus Robbie Eagles. Um, to me, it was again these matches. I felt like they were going. It didn't seem like most WWE tournaments is like, oh, we supposed to win something. We're really not going to put our heart into it. They seemed like they were really, really trying to get this tournament win and get to the next part. And they were willing to just knock each other out. And El Desperado winning with the numero dos. It's like, I saw him hit this multiple time after time after time. And each time, it seemed like it was different every time he did it. Sammy, did you like the match?
Oh, I wasn't crazy about it, but I think that's because I'm not a big Robbie Eagles fan.
Yeah. And then for our semi main event, which actually they had a Mike Bailey versus Master Wato. That match wasn't as great as this one. So we chose Teton versus El Desperado. And listen, this match was crazy. Teton jumped from the second level of in the audience. They were fighting and scrapping, and when you thought that El Desperado just had it on lock, Teton came
Mm-hmm.
and won everything.
That finishing submission of locking the legs, bending back, and grabbing the head, sort of like a inverted camel clutch. I don't know what that move's called, but man, it looks wicked.
Yes.
When I heard a couple days ago that Teton won, and then I saw your match list, and I saw that there were a couple matches on here. I went and watched those matches because I don't have any familiarity with Teton. In fact, I thought his name was Titan, so
I,
I was surprised when they were announcing him as Teton. But no, I mean he's amazing. I mean, yeah, my first introduction to him, and man, dude is a beast. Yeah, so I was very impressed with that match, as well as against Master Wato in the finals. But yeah, I mean the one against El Desperado again. Everyone loves Despy, and you know why. So that match, yeah, it was a banger for sure.
it's sad because I think this is like the fourth time that he has not made it. It was like it was just so close, and
Yeah,
it's something just snatched it away.
yep.
But you got anything to say, Sam?
Pers- Personally, I think this might have been my favorite match.
No
Because
argument there.
I know there was like a Haramu, I think it was Mike Bailey match where they fought outside.
Hmm.
That was good, but my only issue with that match is that it was dark, pitch black dark. You could barely see the thing. And then they had to run out there. And by the time they run out there, they're coming back in. And so I think this match, it was like you could see everything. And it was like he seemed like he soared in the air. So it was a really good match. So that led us to the final of the Best of Super Junior 30, Teton versus Master Wato. And as you see, Master Wato pulled it out. He did not do the German. He did the Resentamente too to win this match. So he was like, I'm gonna pull up all the stops. And they tried
Mm-hmm.
to, it seemed like they never did want to give up, no matter how long they held the hold, no how long they were fighting on the outside. They both each took their time and also went move for move in the beginning, doing some mat wrestling. It was overall good. And I enjoy a wrestling match where I can see people on the outside and they're not getting involved in anything.
These men got so much air. Like the reversals were spot on. Like these two worked so well together. And that moment, I think it was like 18, 20 minutes into the match where Teton gets him in the same maneuver that he beat Despy with. And like I was like, oh shoot, it looks like it's over. And then Master Watto grabs the rope. Like storytelling. The storytelling was fantastic, not just the wrestling itself.
Yes,
Well,
SB3 did give this one 5 stars for sure. I know that, and I mean,
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's when you combine good storytelling with excellent in-ring action, and they both equal up. That's when you get something magnificent, and that's what this was, right? So
And so after the match, Master Wato called his shot against Hiromu. He said, I want to see you at Dominion. And so the match is at Dominion. So speaking of Dominion, we're going to go into our predictions for Dominion. Everybody ready?
yep.
So the kickoff, mind you, I cannot pronounce everybody's name. I know somebody's name. It is Oscar Lube versus Iowa. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Versus Bolton Oleg versus Nakashima. It's kind of like seems like a gauntlet match they have on there.
Yeah, it says kickoff 5 minute limit Young Lion consecutive battle match.
Yeah.
So it
So
sounds like the winner stays on, and then the next guy comes out maybe until
yeah.
they're, and then the next guy stays
So who
on.
do you think might be at the end? Just take a guess.
I'm taking Nakashima.
Okay.
I'm not really
ALW.
familiar with most of these guys. The only one I think I've heard of, well, I know I've heard of him, for sure, is Oleg. So I'm going to go with Bolton Oleg.
I'm gonna go with Oscar because I've seen him do a couple of things. So I'm like, I'm hoping you can do it right.
Now
The
watch all of us be wrong.
Of course.
our, our first official match is for the heavyweight contenders match. Is Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer, which I don't see Lance doing anything.
This is an interesting match to me because it's such a contrast in styles. Like, I imagine Will Ospreay is going to spend a little bit of time getting thrown around by Lance
Mhm.
Archer, and then somehow Ospreay is going to pull it out like the little guy often does. He'll get a few moves, and then somehow he'll get that final move where he hits him with the forearm in the back of the head and gets the win. But I imagine Ospreay is going to take a fair amount of punishment here. This should be a good match, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good match, especially no time limit. So you can take as much time as you need to just beat each other to death.
Yeah,
Well, it's unanimous.
Will
Well,
Ospreay.
everybody with Will Ospreay. The second match is a 30-minute time limit. Is Taka Michinoku, Doki, Yoshi Kanemaru, sorry, and Tachi versus Bushi, and Shingo Takagi and Naito. Who you got? Which team you got? You
I'm
got the
going
first
Naito.
one.
Yeah, I'm going Team Naito for sure. Which is weird because it's not really. I mean, Shingo's not a member of Lij, nor is Teton. Bushi is, but like it's kind of a weird mashup of guys in this match, right? At least in my opinion, it seems like that. But yeah,
It,
I'm going for Team
Isn't
Naito. I think.
isn't Teton in?
Oh, is
yeah,
Teton
yeah,
officially in Lij? Okay,
yeah,
I thought he was. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Okay.
They came out with him in the final.
Oh, that's right. You're
Um,
right. That's correct.
so we all picked Naito's team. Okay, we on the same page for once now. The third match is a 60-minute time limit. It's the tag team championship of the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team belts. It's Kevin Knight and Kushida's first defense versus Francisco Akira and TJP. Do you all see Kushida and Kevin Knight holding the titles at the end of this?
Yeah, I do. I don't think that they're going to give up the titles on their first defense. I mean, Kushida's had his issues. I think in NJPW, and Kevin Knight is kind of a newer guy, and whatever. But they are the champions, and although Akira looked really good in Best of Super Juniors, I those guys for me, Akira and TJP are more kind of mid card guys for NJPW. And
Mhm.
so I don't imagine they're going to beat Kushida and Kevin Knight here in their first defense. It'll be a really solid match because all four guys are really good wrestlers. But I can't imagine Kushida loses here. or Team Kushida loses here. Whatever they call themselves.
Talking about Killer
I'm
Knight. Judah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not.
I forgot the name. It's a weird name, and that's why I tried to block it out.
I'm honestly a bit split because New Japan will do the you lose the title immediately on your first defense. They've done it before.
That they have.
Lately, it seems like they take the title back if they don't feel like you're defending it enough on TV, and then they give it back if you're on TV more often. So I believe they'll keep their championship, even though I
All right,
love Akira and TJP.
I'll be devil's advocate. I'll go Akira and TJP.
See, we got one dissenting person. You have to have
Always.
one.
Sammy always likes the chaos. He's always here for the chaos.
Now, the fourth match on the card is a 15-minute time limit New Japan World TV Championship match. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jeff Cobb. They, I'm telling you, I can't wait for this match. I cannot wait for this match.
Yeah, this should be really good. I see 15 minutes and I think, oh, that's not enough time. And then I think Zack Sabre Jr. can tweak a lot of bones in 15 minutes. So,
Mhm.
yeah, no, I mean, these two are going to be, again, it's another one of those contrasts in style. Zack Sabre's, a real technical mat wrestler, and Jeff Cobb's more of a striker and a power guy. So it's going to be interesting to see that contrast. Both guys can really wrestle. I'm a big fan of both guys. I think Zack Sabre Jr. is probably the best technical wrestler on the planet when it comes down to actual mat wrestling. I know a lot of people think Brian Danielson, but they're a little bit different. I think Zack Saber's a little more technical, but it's always a healthy debate. But yeah, and Jeff Cobb is one of the best big guys going. So, he's agile.
Uh,
What, you don't think so?
I don't know if I'd call him a big guy.
Well, he's pretty muscular. I mean, he's probably close to 280, 290 weight wise, I would think. I mean, he might not be all that tall, but he's built as a monster too, as a monster in Lucha Underground. I mean,
Well, but that was also Lucha Underground.
I know, but I mean, like I said, I don't think he's all that tall, but he's pretty swollen. That dude is pretty big, and he gets built. I think he gets built as a big guy. Like that's the persona they try to give him, at least in my opinion. What do you think, Dolores? You don't see Jeff Cobb as a big dude?
I see him as a big dude, but he's not as agile as he used to be. Like the Tour Islands used to be like, I felt somebody was spinning into circles, and now it's like 1, 2, I gotta let you down. We can't do this no more. And so I want him to have that power and that strength. It's kind of like Bronson Reed. You know how Bronson was like this monster, and then he got to WWE, and he was just like a kitten. And it's like Jeff is slowly going down that ladder of being the monster he used to be. Like he used to come out and it just be like you were scared of him. I don't know if it's that he's more like happy coming out than that monster attitude he used to have, but hopefully he'll get it back. So you're picking Zack Sabre Jr. ALW. Sammy, you're
Yeah,
picking.
Oh, seeing as Zack Sabre Jr. was just on AEW, I feel like he's going to be at Forbidden Door, and I feel like it would be a mistake taking the title off of him before Forbidden Door.
Yes.
So I'm going Zack Sabre Jr.
if
Okay.
Zack Sabre Jr. is a Forbidden Door, can we get Zack Sabre Jr. versus Brian Danielson?
Yes. But it's something coming up.
Uh,
It's something we're gonna come up in Dominion that's gonna happen in Dominion that I'm really hoping for soon. It'll be after this match. The next match is 60-minute limit IWGP tag team, and they're defending the strong tag team too. 3-way with Yoshihashi, Hiroki Goto versus Aaron Hanare and Great Khan versus Takahashi and Evil. Listen, anything they got to do with Evil, I ain't got nothing to do with it. And I love the United Empire. So I got to pick Great Khan, even though I don't. I don't.
I
I
I
will go
like
evil.
I liked Evil when he was in Lij. I don't like him now in House of Torture. And Goto was the first guy I really liked when I started watching New Japan like 4 years ago. I'm a huge Goto fan, even though he doesn't really get a whole lot of time. I'm going Goto.
Okay. So
Goto's.
we all got different picks. So sad. Now this is what I
I
like
love
about
it.
the break that we're supposed to have in New Japan. They are going to give us the G1 Climax 33 participants. I want Daniel Bryan. Give me Brian Danielson now. Sorry, can't go back to the old name. But that's what I want. I want more people from AEW in there. I want Eddie Kingston if he can come back. I want uh Brian. I want John Moxley. Give me those people. That was what Claudio, he's wrestling at Dominion. We'll talk about that a little later. But I just want those people specifically.
I want one of the four pillars to be in it. I don't even care which one.
Not please no, not send me. No.
Interesting. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, but I guess for me, Darby Allen seems like a pretty good fit for the G1. I think he'd be great in the G1. Um, I, honestly, I'd like to see Shibata in the G1 now that he's wrestling again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah. There's a number of guys. I'd be very surprised if you get more than one or two AW wrestlers in the G1. It
Adam
just feels
Cole,
like
Orange
Adam Cole.
Cassidy.
I don't know about Orange Cassidy, but Adam Cole, I'd be all in for.
Yeah.
Um, there's a number, like I said, there's a number of guys. I'd just be surprised if the over under was 4 or 5. I'd probably pick the under just because it feels like there's never
Mm-hmm.
that many. And
Yeah.
so I don't know.
What if we could get somebody like Brody King?
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, because it's such a diverse tournament. I mean, he'd fit right in there. I guess him and you
Uh,
got guys like Lance Archer
honestly,
that are there, and so I mean, you got your big monsters, and Brody King would be great. I'm sure.
every member of House of Black would fit fantastically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they really would. Can't argue with that at all.
The sixth match on the card is a 60-minute limit, never open weight championship. It's David Finley's first defense versus El Fantasma. Let me say, I know who gonna win. It ain't who I want to win. I know David Finley. I personally, and I've had this argument in many chats, think David Finley is not the person they should have put in charge because it's like he's been the head of the Bullet Club and it's gotten lame and stale, even worse than it already was. And it's like at a certain point, you're trying to make him cool, but he's not cool. And so I think the Bullet Club is like it's always been a stable that it's like the cool kids table that you want to get into. But now he's there and it's like you let the nerd sit at the cool kids table and now he thinks he's in charge. So I want Phantasmo to win. I want him to beat his butt.
I can't argue with any of that. I mean, I like David Finley. I think he's a really solid wrestler. I think he feels out of place with the Bullet Club. I think Al
Yes.
Phantasmo. I think Al Phantasmo should have been the leader. I think Al Phantasmo is perfect for Bullet Club. And I heard it today on True Heel Heat. Their guest on today said, or no, SP3 said, if we get Al Phantasmo, we should get a light up title. And I'm all here for that, dude. The light up belt with a light up title, give it to me. I'm all here for Al Phantasmo, but but David Finley's going to win here, unfortunately.
Here's the thing. Like, I respect his work. He does a good job. He's also Fit's son, but he doesn't fit with Bullet Club. He doesn't. And then he immediately became the leader of Bullet Club, which I do not understand. Like, I would have had Kenta be the leader. Like, I mean, I want El Phantasma to win. It's probably going to be Finley, but I don't want it to be, honestly.
So we're on our seventh match. Another 60-minute one for the never open weight 6-man tag team championship. Uh It is Tomohiro Ishii, Tanahashi, and Okada. Listen, listen. They are supposed to go against the top shota, as Jay Do said, Shota Umino, Claudio Cascanoli, and John Moxley. Listen, I need the top shota to win, but I know it's not going to happen. But I know at the end of this match, I can tell you one thing might happen. Ishii and Tanahashi are not going to be good with each other. They are not going to be good with each other. They are going to argue. And Okada is now the old man on my lawn person. He does not like any young person. Kiyomiya already kicked him in the face and he was pissed off about that. Now Umino is all in his business, out getting everybody to try to go against him. So yeah, that's where this is gonna end.
Yeah, I don't. This one is probably the hardest to pick because I you can't pick against Okada. I'm not an Okada fan, but when it comes to New Japan, you can't pick against Okada. But it's John Moxley too, and that Moxley very rarely loses as
Hmm.
well. So when I look at this lineup, I think Shooter's there to take the pin, right? That's why he's there. The question is from who, and my guess is because of all the Okada stuff, it's probably from the Rainmaker from Okada. I mean, I don't think that these guys beat the in some respects kind of the dream team of Ishii, Tanahashi, and Okada in New Japan. I just don't see that happening. So
Who
I'm
did
going with
the two of you pick?
Well, I'm picking Okada, and I think he's gonna pin Claudio. I think Claudio is the man to take the pin because didn't I don't forgot who won the match with Yuta in it.
All
which
right.
one.
Well,
Good.
I was 50-50. My head saying, don't vote against Okada. Don't vote against Okada. But my heart saying, like, you gotta vote for your boy Mox. You gotta vote for your boy Mox. And so, since both of you have gone Okada, I will play devil's advocate and go with my heart. John Moxley, let's get it.
The redheaded stepchild has shown up again. He's just gonna get the parents. That's all it is. The eighth match is the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship. Hiromu Takahashi versus the Best of the Super Junior winner, Master Wato. Do you see Master Wato winning this?
Man, I no, not really. I mean, Takahashi hasn't had the belt that long, and Master Wato just got the biggest win of his career in Best of Super Juniors. I have a feeling they're gonna have him take the loss here, and then come back later, and probably have another match, and at that point win. I mean, that would be my guess. But so I'm gonna go Takahashi here, but I don't know. They did just give Master Wato the biggest win of his career. They could give him two in a row. Who knows? I mean, who knows?
I'll say I'm just gonna be opposite, say Master Wato. Because when I think about it, New Japan has let Hiromu get 5 defenses of this title out. And each time it's beginning to look like Orange Cassidy. Each time he takes another beating and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And so now we got to a point where he has gotten beaten so many times and he's went through every single day of the Best of the Super Juniors. Now he has to do this. This might be his last moment holding on to the title. Sammy, move it out the way so we see your beautiful face.
These are great arguments on both sides. And uh, you know what? I'm just going to pick the person who I like more. I'm going with Takahashi.
Oh, boo you, Sammy, boo you. And the last match on Dominion is a 60-minute limit IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. It is Sonata versus Yono Suji. See, practice. I've been practicing, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you see coming out of this as the champion?
I would be so very surprised if Sonata lost this. So very surprised.
I agree. To be fair, I'm not overly familiar with Yoda, so I don't have a lot to go on. I am familiar with Sonata. I've been watching him for a while, and it's only his second defense. They just gave him the belt. I can't imagine he's going to lose here. I'm going Sonata.
And Sammy, you going for Sonata?
Sonata.
So we back. See, we start together, we end together. That's how we do it. Now we're gonna go quickly through GCW picks. The first
Yep,
set of names, I'm not going. Let me tell you something. They have some extreme names. That's it. That's what we're gonna talk about. For today, this is the first match: Cyclope versus Green Phantom versus Extremo.
I got Cyclope.
I I said Cyclope too.
I don't think we need to
I'll
talk a
go.
whole lot about him. We can just rapid fire through him.
Yeah.
I'll go Miedo.
Okay. Joy Janela versus boy. I can't pronounce that. So we know the second and third. We know second and third. I
Uh,
don't want to disrespect nobody's name. The second and third.
I'm gonna go with Toru.
Okay. I want Joy Janela to win. I want Joy Janela to win. Me and Sammy had to watch him the other day. Listen. If you go back and watch this, ladies and gentlemen, go back to that GCW stream. I don't know how many pirate puns I had to throw out because that show was a little off. But I had to, and matey and all the rest of that because it was Joseph Janela. It got it said Joseph Janela.
Joseph Janela.
And he was representing the championship, and they were trying to win a ship in a bottle. I don't understand that, but you know what?
It's GCW. I'm going Joseph Janela.
Joseph Janela.
Okay, next match: Rina Yamashita versus Sawyer Rick versus Casey Kirk.
This is a tough one. Geez. I'm gonna go Rena.
Me too.
Yamashita.
Now, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is tournament of survival. These is to get to win to go for the championship. So we're having multiple matches with her.
Well, it's possible I could see Sawyer beating Casey and Rena not being involved in the finish. That is a possibility, but I got to go with my heart here. I'm going Rena.
So I gotta
Okay,
go
I'm
with Reno.
going Rena.
If you ever watch our streams or go to because we'll be at True Heroes, you'll see that I like a little violence in my life, and Rena brings it for me. Okay, last match. What as said on the website, El Desperado versus John Wayne Murdoch versus Trentman. Who you got?
Metro. This is gonna be the best match of the card if this is the only four matches for sure. Um, Matt Tremont is so good, but I'll go with El Desperado here. I'm going with Despy. I want to see him win.
I want to say Des because we just had a New Japan whole conversation. But he got to go back home, and I don't think they're gonna let him keep staying. So I would say John Wayne Murdoch. I hate to say that, but
You know, just to keep things exciting, I'll go Matt Tremont.
That's a very good
okay.
pick.
Now on the 4th, which is Sunday, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we have Masha Slamovich versus the winner of the Tournament of Survival. Who do you think will win? The random person out of all these people that we just talked about, or Masha?
I think Masha wins here. I think she retains her title against whoever she faces.
Me too.
Um, I'm hoping.
I'll go for
Go ahead.
I'll go for the mystery box.
This
Sammy
is
got to
tough
be.
because I hope in the finals it's Despy versus Masha, but I don't want Despy to take another loss for a championship belt. So I don't know. I'm torn. Like I don't know,
Next
but
match,
I think Masha wins.
Cardona and Steph Delander versus the Kirks. Doug
I'll go
Hurts.
Cardona. I'll go Cardona and Steph Delander.
Yeah. First of all, if anybody
Car-
hasn't seen Cardona on Twitter and these little skits that he got going on, it's fucking hilarious. I can't get enough of it. Especially like the exploding limo the other day. I just couldn't hold it. So everybody has Cardona.
Yep.
yeah, Cardona.
Last match listed for tomorrow: East West Express with Mike Bailey versus Jack Cartwheel and Jimmy Lloyd.
Can we just say East West Express and Mike Bailey is a trio I need in my life forever? Like, yeah, just
Hmm.
those three together is just insane. So obviously, I'm going with those guys. I like Cartwheel though. Can't go wrong with Cartwheel.
Yeah, I'm gonna say East West Express. Ladies
Same.
and gentlemen, that concludes our first stream of Seeing Stars. So please, how I think this will come out before we go on to True Hill Heat, right?
Probably not. Not. It takes. You have to have an hour. It'll come on. So I can't
Okay.
put it out till at least two something my time. So, but in 6:50 minutes, you'll see us on True Elite Twitch Gaming
Yeah. And
or
we'll be
GCW
there
Watch
for
Mode.
the Tournament of Survival. So make sure you come over to True Hill Heat Gaming channel on Twitch so you can see our three lovely faces, Sammy Joe and ALW, having fun, watching GCW. And we'll see you next week. We'll cover Dominion. We'll talk about the upcoming Together pay-per-view they're having with New Japan. GCW will go over the pay-per-views from this weekend. And I think they have some next weekend. So we'll talk about that. And if Sammy sees a Stardom show, we'll talk about that too.
I wanted to bring up, we were talking earlier when we were talking New Japan. So Blackpool Combat Club, it was Yuta and Moxley and Shota Umino
Yep.
versus Okada, Ishii, and Rocky Romero.
Yes. And
Okay.
didn't Yuta get the pin on Rocky? Isn't that
No.
that
That might
match?
have been it.
I think that's that match. That Yuta got the pin on Rocky. I could be mistaken, but I think that was that match.
You're probably right.
So until then, we'll see you.
Peace.
Peace.